everybody, and welcome to the team call for April 12th. Tonight we're going to be talking about Coach Summit. Coach Summit is this summer. It is in July. And wanted to kind of give you the lowdown on what you can expect from Summit if you're going. And if you're not planning on going, why you should plan on going. But before we do that, I want to just give a shout out to those coaches who have Success Club points already for this month. Michelle Wirtz has 2 Success Club points. Chris Metter has 2. Kelly has 2, and Wendy Tripp has 2. So congratulations, guys. That's awesome. You're starting off the month strong. I don't know if you saw in the coach group, but if you hit Success Club 5 this month, you qualify to receive a Shakeology apron, which is pretty cool. So, so on with the call. So tonight we're going to discuss why you should go to Summit, what you can expect from Summit, and is it too late to get a ticket or find a place to stay? Because I know maybe some of you are new coaches, or you have been a coach for a while and you weren't planning on going to Summit because you didn't really understand what Summit's about. So we're going to talk about that tonight. So Summit basically is the biggest coach event of the year. Coaches come from all over to learn, have fun, and become better coaches, and frankly, better people. At Summit, you will work harder, learn more, and play harder than you ever have in your life. The first time I went to Summit, I was 6 months pregnant with my youngest, Jacob, and I was a new coach. I was just a discount coach. I didn't really understand what was going on. I had no idea really why I was there, other than that I was supporting my friend's husband who was getting recognized there or was going to be talking there. I don't even remember what he was doing there. And just from that one day of being there, I felt an overwhelming sense of something greater than myself. And I knew that I had to be part of whatever that was. And it's what changed me from being a discount coach to a business building coach. The second year I missed because I couldn't see how I could afford it as a single mom, and I deeply regretted that choice. I saw all the pictures, my coach was telling me how amazing it was, and I felt awful. I felt like I was missing out. The third one, I made sure I went, and I took someone with me, and that person caught the vision, and well, he decided to stop being a supportive boyfriend and discount coach, and decided that he was going to start building the coaching business himself. And that was just from that one event. And I'm sure he'll tell you a little bit more about that in a bit. Then last year was even better because it was in a new location. It was in Nashville. It wasn't in Las Vegas. And in Las Vegas, they managed to schedule it every time they had the Electric Daisy Carnival, whatever that is, and it was a walking contradiction of health and fitness and drugs and partying, which didn't mix. And then the whole environment of being in Vegas with gambling and partying and alcohol and all that, I can see why they decided to move it to Nashville, away from that. So last year was even better because our upline team grew, and as they grew, we were able to meet new people and get to know them better and see coaches that we hadn't seen in a while. And the thing about this business is you really are a team, and you're connected to others outside of what you know. And outside of our little team, we have a much larger network of coaches. And for me, those coaches have become my good friends, my family. And every time I see them, it's exciting because we get to catch up. So Summit, the one thing I want you to know about Summit is it will help you get the confidence and knowledge you need to build your business quicker. first of all. They have top coaches teaching how to build your business with a better foundation and break through not only barriers in your business, but also personal barriers that you may have. There will also be an amazing keynote speaker, Gary Vaynerchuk. He is amazingly motivational. And I can say there's not a year that I have gone and I have not learned something and progressed in my business. So in addition to learning more about how to grow yourself personally and grow your business, you get to have a lot of fun. You get to work out with celebrity trainers. There's a yearly party that they have at the end of the summit. Our upline team has a dinner, and if I have any coaches that go, I know Lynn and Kevin for sure have committed to going, and Chris, and we will have a team dinner for that as well. So there's 2 team dinners. In addition to that, you have nightly entertainment, a nightly show. You'll get to know people you interact with every day online. Excuse me, better, and they'll become your friends for life. So I have to say, if there's one event you attend this year, it's got to be Coach Summit. So a lot of you may not have already bought your tickets. You may not have planned your travel. You may not have planned where you're going to stay. And the only thing I can say to that is it's not too late. It's never too late. What happens, especially in the upcoming months, which is why I plan this call at this time, is that people will find that they have to cancel their trips, either because they don't have babysitting for their kids, or they can't get time off from work, or what have you. And those tickets will become available. They'll become transferable. I haven't seen the group made yet, but usually there's a large Beachbody Coach Summit group for 2006, for each year. So it'll be like Beachbody Coach Summit 2016. And people will post in there, hey, I have 2 tickets I need to get rid of, or I have 1 ticket I need to get rid of. And then you can get those transferred to you if you choose to purchase them. In addition, people will be looking for roommates. A lot of times people book a hotel room and it's just them staying in the hotel room, and they don't want to pay the full cost of a hotel room and are more than happy to share a roommate. Or they have someone that they were planning on attending with that cancels. So there's opportunities for that as well. There's also a lot of local hotels that are a lot cheaper than the, I'm not 100% sure if it's still the Gaylord that they're promoting, but Chris is groaning over that. But there are other hotels that are downtown or close to downtown that are less expensive than the Gaylord. We stayed at the Gaylord last year. It was a phenomenal hotel, but it was expensive, and we wound up having to either catch a shuttle bus or catch a Lyft ride into downtown where all the events were being held. And little did we know, because we hadn't been to Nashville before, that there were hotels all over downtown that we could have stayed at for a lot less. One particular is the Embassy Suites. So there are options still available as far as that's concerned. There's also Airbnb, vacation rentals that you can research and look out for. So there's options no matter what. The only thing I will say is that the longer you wait, the harder it will be to find those options. As far as airfare, it does obviously get more expensive the closer you get to the time of summit, but if airfare isn't an option, you can drive. I know that worst case scenario, I will be driving there. I have the paid time off, so it's not an issue for me to do that. And it's probably still going to be cheaper than airfare. I think the last time I looked, it was like $500 for airfare to Nashville round trip. So worst case scenario, you can always carpool with me. Sorry, just looking at my points real fast. The best thing I can say is if you haven't already scheduled your trip, book your trip, get creative. There's a lot of coaches who have done some crazy things to make sure that they get to Summit, and they all can attest that Summit is a life-changing event and is well worth it. So I know for me, it's been well worth it. I have learned so much. It's what fuels me and drives me. These events that Beachbody hosts, like Super Saturday, Coach Summit, even affiliates like Chalene Johnson, those events, they drive you, they fuel you, they spark that creativity in you that will help you get to the next level in your business. So they're very important. One other thing I wanted to mention, I mentioned briefly the app called Lyft. It's basically like Uber, but they actually give you 2 or 3 free rides. So if you find that you do stay at a hotel that's a distance away from the events that you need to go to, like team dinners or whatnot, you can actually download that app and get some free rides as well. So that is definitely worth something to look into. There will be, from designated hotels, there will be buses that will shuttle you to and from the events. So that's all I have. I just wanted to really convey the importance of going to Summit. If there's a will, there's a way. So if you want to go and you haven't quite figured out how to make it happen, don't be afraid to reach out. I know there's a wait list for Coach Summit tickets, but we can figure something out to get you there. And we'd love to have you. The more coaches I have there, honestly, the happier I'll be. I think it's just such an amazing event and will be so worth it. It's so worth the investment. So I did want to turn over a little time to Chris and let him discuss why he feels Coach Summit is non-negotiable, and what was it initially from the first Coach Summit that sparked his interest in the business, instead of, being just, oh, I'm supporting my girlfriend, to I really love this. This is really positive. I can see a future with this. So go for it.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Pardon my voice, but so I went to the first summit with, of course, coughing fit hits when I'm starting to talk. Back in 3 summers ago, so this will be coming up on my 4th summit. Now, the first summit, I didn't know what to expect. I was looking for, let's get the deep dark secrets of this MLM pyramid scheme. But then I saw, unlike other MLMs, there's actually a heart and soul behind this whole business, where, yeah, of course, obviously, like any business, the guy up on top is making a lot of money. But you can start from the bottom to make a lot of money also. And actually, they provide the tools and the training that's going to get you where you've gotten to. I can pinpoint a direct correlation to Jenny's income from last year. She made more than double she did last year after going to Summit, because of the tips and tricks and the tools that they give you every year. There's, people complain about the cost. Well, we just did our taxes a little bit ago, and we wrote off the travel, the expenses that we had there. We wrote off all of the business expenses. We write off all this stuff because we are proof of the product. So we got everything we spent on our trip back in our return, and the investment that came back to us was more income. I mean, I made more money last year than I ever had before. I mean, it was it's not much, but it was enough for me to go, wow, and actually have to get a 1099 from Beachbody to have to do my taxes for it, which is a first for me. And I'm on the call, buddy. Sorry.
So Chris, how much of an increase did you see from before, where you were just kind of a discount coach, to actually working the business very part-time? And how much time did you invest in it?
I didn't put much investment in time in it, because the way I look at it is I work efficiently with it. I'm not going to sit here all day, spend hours and hours online and do it. I'm just going to I probably spend about 30 minutes a day tops doing things and getting new people in, getting coach groups set up. I probably, trying to think what's a good percentage. I mean, put it this way. I went from not making anything to being able to cover all my supplements and pay for programs and pay for, and actually have, cash, and that's directly from results from going to 2 events last year. I went to the men's leadership training, which Jenny will attest, I came back kind of a changed man. And then I went to Summit. And, this year I'm fighting to get to the men's event, but they've already sold out. So I don't know if I'll be able to go, but I've already got my hotel rooms for Summit are reserved. I'm not going to fly out there because it's going to be too expensive. I've got the time off from work. I'm driving because right now kind of on a shoestring budget for what we've got going on. So I've got the time. I'm going to make, still make the investment and drive. I mean, I will make it. It's that important to me as a non-negotiable. I will sleep in a tent. I will sleep in my van to make it happen, because the friendships and the relationships that you create with the other coaches just in our team is worth the time and investment, because it's almost like going on it's like going on a work retreat with your friends, because there's no negative. I mean, everyone's 100% positive. You don't get that in any corporate environment where it's 100% positive. You don't go there for vacation. You will wake up and walk away tired after the last night. You're like, wow, I'm going to need a vacation to recover from this, because you get so tired. Because you're literally up at 6 a.m. and in bed by midnight, roughly. Because you're doing that much stuff. You're working out with trainers. You're going to educational programs. You're going to, there's literally, 25,000 people all going to different training events and stuff like that. And you're there drinking it in, it's like drinking from the fire hose the whole time. And it's such worth it. I can point out to each coach that is successful. And what did they do? They always went to Summit. Always went to Summit. Yeah, sometimes it's slow starting. Sometimes it doesn't kick right away. I mean, look at me. I'm fine. This is the first year I'm finally to the point where I'm getting traction. I have a following. I have people doing my challenges and stuff like that. Jenny was like, hey, did you got some extra Success Club points? I'm like, from who? It's a great feeling to know. I don't know who, but somebody's buying from me. I'll have to figure that out. But the thing about Summit is that, me and Jenny already have been planning since last Summit. We bought our tickets last Summit for this Summit. One, it's a huge cost savings, and two, it kind of locks us in. As soon as I had my work's vacation schedule, I didn't lock in my personal days that I wanted. I locked in time that I was going to go to Nashville for Summit. That was my first thing, and then I used the rest for whatever. And Jenny's got her time off too. So it's figuring out your priorities, because if you want a hobby business, then that's fine. You can watch stuff online. You can attend Super Saturdays. I'm not a big fan of Super Saturdays, but they're also a event that you need to get to every time they have it, because they put out great information. You get with local coaches, because like here in Utah, we have a very large Utah Beachbody coaches group that is quite active, and they're doing events together. They're doing, they're getting in extra people for extra training, on the side. And that's, you got to link in with those local groups to get that stuff. So these events that become non-negotiable, like Summit, really click and make sense. It honestly, anybody can do Summit on $1,000. Really, it's drive. I mean, you got to have the time off. Drive out there, get a cheap hotel. I mean, that's, go to the grocery store, buy food. That's what we did last year, is we bought, food. I mean, it's that important to go because of the, the business that you build from it. Even if you just get, 1%, well, that's going to be a 1% increase in your business that actually will make a difference. So that's why it's an absolute non-negotiable to not, that I have to go.
So Chris, what are the biggest takeaways you've gotten out of going to summits the 2 years that you've gone?
Really, it's not being afraid to put yourself out there, because if you look at my page, I do silly crap. I did, a video I had a horse mask on, I mean, it's my character, that's me. I do that silly stuff, but putting it out there for the world to see is very, very not me, because I don't like to put my crap out there for the world to see. But because I've essentially converted my Facebook page to a, without, saying it's a business page, it is a business page that is, putting myself out there all the time. And that's one of the biggest things, is putting yourself out there, not being afraid to say, hey, people, here I am. Yeah, I'm still kind of fat, but you know what? I'm still working on it. I'm trying to do things. People see that. People recognize that. People relate to that, because they know you're not perfect. You're still working on trying to get there.
Okay, very cool.
What else? What else?
I think you did a great job. That's perfect. That's exactly what needed to be said. I think the biggest thing for me that I've taken away is just the knowledge that I've gained from the classes and the keynote speakers. They have different trainings on Shakeology, how to share on social media, how to share your story. The training is just really next level stuff that I can't do justice to. And then doing the large group workouts, it's just an ethereal experience that you can't describe unless you're there. To see thousands of people working out in 80% humidity, because that's how humid Nashville is, and it's 80 plus degrees, and we're all there working out, doing our best, no matter what our fitness level is. It's just really, it's inspiring, and it's motivating, and it makes you really get a sense of your purpose as a coach. And I think that's what these Coach Summits have done for me, is they've fed my purpose. They've helped me reignite my passion for coaching repeatedly year after year. So if you already have tickets for Summit and you're planning on going, I want to know. I will definitely plan a meetup for all of us to meet up. If you haven't and you're thinking about going, I want to know too, because I would love to convince you to go, because I know with 100% surety that it will definitely change you. as a person, and it will change your business. So it's not too late. If you have any inkling of going, reach out. We want to make sure you get there. So it's a shorter call tonight. I didn't want to take up too much time, but you know, I hope this helps kind of fuel your fire to get to Coach Summit, because you won't regret it. So have a good night, everyone.